Welcome to Chemistry Lover, and this is the second part of the video on the Vinylogos-Felkinen model. So in the previous video I discussed about the Vinylogos-Felkinen model, where I told you that what will be the stereochemical outcome of a reaction of this Gilman reagent on this type of substances. So based on that, what you can expect is for this trans isomer, this one is the trans isomer, so here you would expect the addition of this methyl group, the addition of this methyl group actually trans to the existing methyl group. So this methyl group is above the plane, so this incoming methyl group should be below the plane, and here the OSIR3 will be as it is. And for the cis isomer, what you would expect is this one, so this methyl will be on the same side of the existing methyl OSIR3, and here we have this CO2ET. So this is our expectation based on the Vinylogos-Felkinen model, but what we get for this particular case is we get the reverse outcome, that is from the trans we get this and from the cis we get this, and I told this in the previous video. So this is reverse to what we have discussed in the last video. So if you didn't watch the last video, I will suggest you to first watch that video, because otherwise you will not understand today's topic. So what is the change with the previous problem is, in the previous problem all the groups were same except this group. So here we had phenyl group and here we had phenyl group, but now in this particular example we have this silyl group, OSIR3 group. So this is only change, and for this change, for this small change, we are getting a totally reverse outcome. Now I will try to explain why this is the case. So to explain this outcome, what we have to do is we have to draw the reactive Newman projection formula of the two isomers for the trans and the cis. So if you watched the previous video, you will see that this is the reactive Newman projection formula for the trans. So for the trans isomer, this CO2ET group will be here and this hydrogen is inside. Because this hydrogen is inside, so we can put the methyl group over here, the hydrogen over here, and now we have this OSIR3 group over here, and here we have another hydrogen. So this is the reactive conformation for the trans isomer. Now in the previous case, what happened is the nucleophile, it came from here and it attacks from this side, from the top side. Why? Because we have hydrogen over there. But if this attack takes place, what product you will get from this attack, from this particular attack, you will get this product. But what we are getting is, we are not getting this product, instead we are getting this particular product. So certainly there is something more which is happening here. So here it is explained by saying that because oxygen is there, this oxygen can coordinate with the Gilman's reagent. So we have the Gilman's reagent, copper, Cu, and two methyl groups are like this, Me2Culi. So this oxygen can coordinate with this, right? So this oxygen will have a coordination with the Gilman's reagent, and because of this coordination, now the methyl group transfer will take place from the bottom side. Okay, and if this methyl group transfer happens, what will be the product? So the product will be, here you have hydrogen, here you have methyl, here you have OSIR3, and now see this methyl is coming from this side. Here you have this hydrogen, and here you have this other group, this CO2ET group. Now if you look carefully, see this hydrogen, they are goes to one another, this methyl, they are anti to one another. So certainly this is a trio isomer, and here also you can see this methyl and this methyl, they are goes to one another, but the two hydrogens, they are also goes to one another, but these two groups, these large groups, they are now anti to one another, and that means this is also trio. So these two products are similar. So this is how we are getting this product. So why we are getting this product? Because of this coordination with this oxygen. In the previous example we had phenyl group over here which doesn't have any coordination with the Gilman's reagent. So that's why normal methyl transfer takes place from the top side, but now because of this coordination it is forcing the methyl to be transferred from the bottom side. Similarly we can explain it for the cis1. For the cis1 the preferred conformation for undergoing the reaction would be, so this is the cis CO2ET. so here this will be the preferred thing, right? See, this is the thing, this is methyl, and this is your hydrogen. Why it is happening? I told in the previous video that if you place the methyl group here and you have this large group over here, there will be a 1,3-diallylic interaction. So to avoid this 1,3-allylic interaction with this large CO2ET group, it will rotate, and now this is the, so actually we don't have phenyl here, we have this group. So this OSiR3, this group, and now you can see this Gilman's reagent, this will have coordination with the oxygen, right? And methyl transfer will take place from the top side, right? Methyl transfer will take place from the top side. So from here what product we will get is, so here we have this OSiR3, here we have methyl, here we have hydrogen, and now see, here you have this CO2Me, here we have so methyl group, and here we have hydrogen. Now you can see this hydrogen, they are anti, methyl anti, and this large group they are anti. So it is a erythro, it is erythro isomer. And also this product, if you see this particular product, here also this methyl they are anti, this large group they are anti, and the hydrogen is like this and this, so these hydrogens are also anti. So this is also erythro product. So from here we will get this product, from here we will get this product. So this is how we can explain this. So all the thing is because of this coordination. In the previous case we had phenyl which is non-coordinating, but now we have this coordinating group, and this coordination with the Gilman reagent makes this reaction with a totally different outcome, right? So this is interesting one, this question can come in the exam. And now I will give you another question, which is this one. So let's say you have a spirocyclic compound. So let's say this is the compound, yeah. So here you have the thing, here you have this CO group, okay. So from this you can get two products. From here, let's say you are adding Me2CuLi, so you can get two products. One would be this one, okay. So one would be this one, where your yeah, so this is 1 2 3 4, this is 1 2 3 4, yeah. So here you have the carbonyl group. So either the methyl group can add on the axial position, or another product is possible, that is this one. So the methyl group can also add from the equatorial position, and you can get this product. So this product A and this product B, these two products are possible. So let me know in the comment section that which product you would expect, or which could be the correct product of this reaction. I will discuss this problem in the next video. So I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you like the video, then give a thumbs up and share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe this channel for getting more videos like that. Thank you for watching.